Hello, this is Suzanne Clegg, and today is the Facebook Live healing session. So for the last many times, it seems like the last year, I've been, I talk for a little bit before we actually do the healing. Although the healing has begun, I'm spinning. If you know how to spin. If you don't know how to spin, wait and I will tell you how to do that later. But anyway, for the last year, a recurring theme of my teaching has been detachment, and so I feel like I've beaten that drum till we're sort of in sync. So that's good. So we all kind of know how to be present, but not messing with the healing. All right. Today I'd like to renew, like I used to talk about this a lot, which is about belief and about how I don't want you to believe that this is going to work. And what do I mean by that? I do want it to work, and I hope that it works. And I really, really, really have experienced it helping a lot of people. But I don't believe that it's working. I actually just am aware that it's working. And so it's sort of, so this belief thing, it seems like if you don't have the capacity to be aware, you have to believe. So here's this cup, right? I don't believe I'm holding this mug. I'm actually just aware that I'm holding this mug. And I don't believe that I'm drinking. I'm just aware of drinking it and putting it down and things like that. So that's me not believing in physical phenomenon, but just being aware of physical phenomenon. So let's go up the octaves. Let's go up to the life force octave. Do I believe I'm alive? No, I'm just aware that I'm alive. My eyes are blinking. I don't know. I sleep, I wake, I eat, I do all the things that life thing, I cut myself, it heals. Like I'm not a corpse, I promise. And it's not that I believe it, it's that I experience myself as being alive. All right, so that's the life force octave. So we did the physical, the life force. Now going up, let's do the octave of emotions and images. If I say, imagine a pink elephant, and I'm imagining a pink elephant, am I believing I'm imagining a pink elephant, or am I just imagining a pink elephant and observing the type of pink elephant that I just imagined, which is probably different than the pink elephant you just imagined. So I don't believe that I'm imagining it. I just experience it. I experience my pink elephant. So there you go. Now let's go up to the spiritual level. Do I believe that I'm thinking, or do I experience that I'm thinking? I experience that I'm thinking. If I have a thought, and this is where it gets tricky, because belief and spirituality seem to go hand in hand. Just read the New Testament and you're like, oh, that's where it all comes from. But I really think that it's so 2023. Anyway, it's like there's a deeper intimacy we can have with spiritual phenomenon that goes in a matter-of-fact way beyond belief. And it's not that it's just it's more accurate way of interacting with spiritual information and phenomenon. So do I believe in God? No. I experience God. And I experience it differently depending on my perspective. And I'm very aware that my point of view affects how I would interact with any thought. So there's a God. So let's think of a non-religious or non-spiritual thing. So do I believe that I'm thinking? Do I believe that the thought that I just thought comes from a good place. Like, that's a judgment. That's like a whole bunch of stuff, right? But you could see how if you had a thought and it made you feel good, you could experience the feel good of the thought without necessarily believing that it came from a source that was good. It's like you get the after effect of it. And by not believing in the form that's formless, the form that appears to me reflects nuances and depth and power that believing in some artist's rendition of a spiritual being just doesn't do. So I experience dead people, right? I channel dead people. I talk to dead people. I experience all sorts of divine beings. They come, usually I ask for the divine source or the type of divine ideas that support my patients, attend them, and then I watch. So do I believe they're there, or I just watch that they're there? So say somebody's Christian and they ask for the Christ to be present with them. Do I believe that Christ is there, or do I just observe that, oh, look, there's Christ? Do I believe that my prayers will be answered, or I just notice that, look at that. Let's be aware of how they're being answered. Do I believe that ask and it's given, or do I just notice, like, oh, if I ask for something, it usually shows up in one form or another. So that's not the same as belief. That's awareness. So you might disagree with me. You might just really love your belief and go for it if you love it. That's fine. I'm just letting you know how I do it a little differently. And I do respect other people's beliefs, of course. And I know that I do have beliefs, but I try to work through them because to me a belief is a box, a perceptual box. And I like to think that I can think outside the box and let new things come into my box. But I'm also aware that I have a perceptual box. And so, of course, I live inside all sorts of beliefs. All right, so what does all this philosophy have to do with getting people better? What it has to do is that today I don't want you to believe that this is going to work for you. I want you instead to observe how it's working. Okay, so open your heart to the possibility that this distance healing can really make a difference for you and your loved ones and the people on the list and the animals. And just open your heart and be aware of the healing that's happening. And you can be aware of it in your way. Some of you get visual information. Some of you get tingling. Some of you get an inner knowing. Some of you don't have a clue, but you hope. And I would say hope is more honest than belief. And I feel like honesty usually works better. Like more honesty helps healing. Authenticity lets something emerge out of the present moment. If we're not being authentic, if we're being the slightest bit dishonest, and we're all a little bit or a lot dishonest, so it's the human tendency. But the more we can become authentic and present, the more it's likely that the healing can emerge. And so that's why I kind of like harp on the word belief, because I don't think it's as honest as aware. And yeah, so you can tell me what you think, or I know that steps on some people's toes, but a lot of people are here because of William Bengston's research. And he did some research showing that skeptical graduate students who thought they were being studied on how gullible they were, they did this spinning meditation, and their mice were completely cured of their cancer. And they were as surprised as anybody else, and they certainly did not believe that they were curing cancer in mice. And although they were told that, yep, we're seeing if this works on on curing the cancer in the mice. They thought, well, that can't be what we're actually being studied for. So they actually disbelieved in it, and the cancer still remitted in the mice. So Bengston harps on it a lot, but most of us have beliefs, and we have spiritual experiences, and we have our relationship to our beliefs. And there's this whole big psychology thing of like, change your disempowering beliefs and change your life. So there's this whole thing about belief. And so what do you do with that? And how do you juxtapose all that belief stuff with the results from Bengston's research? And I'm just sharing you how I've done it, is that I work on observation and I work on awareness. And I happen to be clairvoyant, so I can be aware of very, very subtle things. But to me, I'm just aware of them. I'm not believing in them, I'm experiencing them. So that's an experience that I can be aware of. So I encourage you to put on your awareness goggles, or your awareness thinking cap, or your whatever you can. And let's get some really good healing going today. All right.